For this percent problem, we have 2 percents in the problem. Let's take a moment to read. 56.9% of the vehicles sold at a particular dealership are trucks. 35.2% of the vehicles sold were four-wheel drive. The dealership sold 87 four-wheel drive trucks last month. How many vehicles did this dealership sell last month? We're going to start the same way we've started each percent problem, by turning the percents into fractions. So here's my first percent. So I'm going to make that 56.9 over 100. Here's my second percent. I'm going to work with that one completely separately. So that'll be 35.2 over 100. Now, very important to know what the percents represent. So when I try to figure that out, I need to focus on the sentence that the percent is a part of. So in my very first sentence, it tells me 56.9% of the vehicles sold at the dealership are trucks. So trucks are part of the total sales of this particular dealership. So this fraction is really representing the number of trucks out of the total number of vehicles sold. So trucks are the part, vehicles are the total. Focusing on the second sentence, 35.2% of the trucks sold are four-wheel drive. So the second fraction that I have is representing that there are some of those trucks that are four-wheel drive. So four-wheel drive is the part and trucks is the total. Knowing what is being compared will help me solve this problem. The next thing that I always did was look at my numbers. So the number I have here is this 87. What is that 87? That's the number of four-wheel drive trucks. So in my problem, that will have to go on the top of this proportion. And so when I solve this, I'll figure out the number of trucks. Since I have 3 out of the 4 numbers, I'm going to go ahead and use cross products. So I'll multiply on the diagonal and get 35.2x is equal to 8700. Divide both sides to get x by itself. And that will give me x equals, and when I do this on my calculator, I get 247.159, and it continues. But seeing we're talking about trucks, I'm going to round to a whole number and have 247 trucks. Trucks was part of my first fraction. Notice up here we compared trucks to the total vehicles. So that means I can take this answer and take it back into this part of the problem and figure out the number of vehicles. So we said 247 trucks out of an unknown total vehicles. Again, I'm going to solve using the cross products. So 56.9x equals 24700. Divide on both sides by 56.9. And that gives me x is equal to 434, and there is a decimal, but again, since I'm dealing with vehicles, I'm going to keep that as a whole number, and that is vehicles. So when I look back at the problem actually asks me how many vehicles did this dealership sell, and so this 434 is my actual answer to the problem. So very important in this problem to take note of the sentence that the percent is in, and in that sentence it told us what is being compared. So this first sentence was trucks to total vehicles. Second sentence was four-wheel drive down here to trucks. And then we were able to solve by putting the number that they gave us in the correct location.